welcome back to my channel. I'm Emma if you are new here, and if not, welcome back. Today, as you can tell by the video, we're going to be talking about my advice for move-in day and the first few days of being on campus. These are going to be pretty general for every year, but more specifically for freshmen moving into dorms. But also, I know this year's going to look a little bit different because of COVID, but regardless, if you're watching this in the future, these will pretty much still be relevant. The first thing I have is to be as organized as possible before you even arrive. So when you're packing up your car or your suitcases or the boxes that you're shipping or whatever, have them be labeled, have them be organized, packed well so nothing gets broken, so that when you're coming in, you don't have to open like every single box, like digging through them to look for the one specific thing you want. Have similar things packed together. Don't have like your comforter in one box and your pillows in a different box and your mattress cover in a mattress pad in a different box. Like, have all of your bedding in one box. It's gonna make it a lot easier to be like, hey, where's the bedding box? I wanna make the bed. And you just grab it and then everything's in there and ready to go. It'll just make moving in a lot easier and a lot less stressful. For hanging clothes, I recommend hanging all of your clothes that you're going to bring on the hangers you want to take. Like, I know I have the hangers that I have for school, and then I have the hangers I use at home, and I have a lot of them, my college hangers, hanging up in my closet just because I brought things home on them and then I didn't switch them out. But like my nice felt hangers, I will hang everything I want to bring on one of those kinds of hangers. I'll put them all together and then I'll put a trash bag over it and then a trash bag up around the bottom of it too. And then I'll just bring that into the car, so then you can just nicely pop your hung clothes onto the rack in your closet and then you're done. You don't have to like rehang everything once you get there. If you're flying, this might be a little bit of a different story, but if you're driving, I definitely recommend doing that. When you arrive, if possible, I know this isn't like always possible, but if possible, get your key and then go to your room first. Don't bring anything with you. I mean, if you do, just bring smaller things. Go in there and rearrange the room however you want it to be. Obviously, unless your roommate moves in before you, but whichever roommate comes first, talk about how you want the room to be arranged and maybe rearrange the room a little bit before you get in there. If you need to move some dressers or beds or whatever, do that before you bring in all of your big suitcases and your boxes and all of that kind of stuff. It's gonna make it a lot easier. So once you have the room arranged how you want it to be, then bring in all of the stuff. And my recommendation is everyone unpacks and organizes things differently, but I recommend making your bed first. It's the first really big thing. You'll feel like you've accomplished so much by just doing one simple thing. It makes the room already look way homier, and it just will be a place that you can then put stuff onto and not have to like take things off in order to make the bed again. So I also recommend putting a blanket down on top of your nice comforter because you don't want it to get all messy and stuff if you're putting different boxes and things on top of it. So from there, after you make your bed, you can pretty much organize and unpack however you want. But again, I recommend doing your clothes next. It will make you feel really accomplished again, and it will get a big chunk of the unpacking finished, because I know personally most of my unpacking had to do with clothes. So that was really helpful to get done out of the way, and those boxes could be collapsed in the big suitcase I had, brought all of my clothes in. I just sent back with my mom. We just put it in a car on our way out when we went to the store or something like that. In terms of meeting new people, when you're unpacking your room, leave your door open. It'll make you look way more welcoming and like inviting, and people may pop their heads in and say hi. I recommend after you've kind of unpacked a little bit, just kind of do a walk down the hall, say hi to people you see, maybe pop in and introduce yourself. It's going to be a little awkward, trust me, but you need to like put yourself out there in order to like meet these people. And these are the people you're gonna be living with for the next year, so you want to get to know them pretty well. Try to meet as many people on your floor in the first few days as possible. Your RA might have some activities to do all together. Again, it might look a little bit different this year because of COVID, but I'm sure there'll still be something I'm sure there'll still be something for you guys all to get to meet each other and introduce yourself to your RA. It'll give them a really good first impression of you if you introduce yourself and you say, hi, my name is Emma, nice to meet you, I live in this room. And they might come and do like a loop around during move-in, but they also might be like helping move people in too. So make sure you introduce them. You want to get off on a good foot with your RA. You don't want them to be on the bad side. You don't have to be your best friend, but you just don't want to make an enemy out of them your first week. When you're moving in, don't forget to drink water, please. It will be very hot, most likely. Some places won't have air conditioning. That's another thing. If you are bringing a fan, set up your fan right when you get in there and start it blowing. It will help the air circulation cooler in there because it will get hot. Trust me. My room had AC and it was still hot. But don't forget to drink water and go eat with your family. The first day, don't worry about eating with people like on campus. Go eat with your family. Enjoy that last day with them. But stay the night in your dorm. Do not go and sleep with your parents at their hotel room, even if they're staying the night again. Go and sleep in your dorm. That first night is so important for bonding with you and your roommate, and it'll also just really like kind of hit the ground running with getting acclimated to sleeping there. You don't want to like put that off too much. Another thing about your roommate is set ground rules with your roommate as soon as possible. At RIT, we had to do a roommate agreement, which is where a form that we both filled out and then we both signed it and agreed to everything we decided on there. And that was like rules about having friends, what time we wanted to go to bed, what time we were expected to wake up, rules about music and what our studying was, and we had to put our schedules in there and stuff like that. That is like a formality that RIT set, but it provided a outlet that my roommate and I could have a good conversation about our expectations, and we honestly really didn't have any problems the entire semester. I moved out at the end of the semester, not because of her, just because I didn't like living in a dorm, period, and I moved into Greek housing. But it was a really nice way to set those ground rules really early. You don't want to get like 2 or 3 weeks into the semester and then have something happen that you really disagree on and have not had those important conversations prior to that. Decorate your room in the first few days or it will not happen. You don't want your decorations just to be sitting under your bed. Do it in the first few days. You don't have to do it when your parents are there. I honestly recommend not doing it when your parents are there because unless you have some bigger things that you need help with, but for the most part, that's a really good thing to do like the 2 or 3 days after when you don't have class yet and there aren't as many activities going on yet before orientation starts. So that's a great thing to do like late at night, just by yourself, just kind of to have some alone time. It's a really good thing to do. And it also allows you to completely do it how you want. Not that your parents don't have good advice, but it's your first time having your truly own space away from home, most likely. So definitely recommend doing that, but do it in the first few days or it will not happen. Have fun your first few days. It's gonna be sad to leave your parents and it's gonna be sad to leave home, but trust me, you'll have so much more fun if you embrace missing them, but kind of push it off and just focus on having fun with these new friends that you're making. Meet as many different people as possible. If you're going to college with a bunch of people you know from high school, hang out with them, but try to meet new people. Force yourself out of that little bubble that you have because we all grow up in these little bubbles of our own high schools. And college is the first time that you truly get to experience being away from home and making your own friendships right off the bat and forging your own personality in a different way than how everyone's seen you since you were 5. You know what I mean? So go to these stupid little cheesy events that they have during orientation. It's gonna be stupid. Most likely they aren't always the most like fun, but it's a place to meet other people and you'll all bond through like the weird activities that you're doing and the weird icebreakers you're doing and get to know the people in your orientation group and things like that. Like just put yourself out there as much as possible in those first few days. You don't have to have 8 million best friends, but just get to know people. And in your classes, like introduce yourself to the girl or boy that's sitting next to you. Like don't just stick to yourself, like introduce yourself, put yourself out there, and you'll have such a better experience than someone who just keeps to themselves the whole time. Within the first few days of being there, before classes start, walk your schedule. You can do it all in one day where you kind of just walk between each class. If you only have 10 minutes between 2 classes, make sure you know where the classroom is and how long it takes you to get there, because I had one class that I had 10 minutes to get to and it was all the way across campus. So I knew very early on that I had to sprint. But walk your classes, go with a group of friends and literally find the actual room in the buildings. They should be open. If not, your orientation leaders might be able to do that with you, but definitely do that before classes start. It helps so much. I do it every semester. I'll be doing it again this semester, and it makes such a difference because you know where you're going. You aren't that like awkward freshman like looking around like you don't know where the heck you are, and it just allows you to have more confidence and not be as stressed on your first day of classes. I know going into this year it's going to be really weird. Some of you aren't going to school, you're starting online classes. Some of you are moving in, but you have half online and in person, and it's just such a weird and crazy time. And I just wanted to say that I know it's going to be weird and I know it's going to be different, but that doesn't mean you can't have a great semester. It doesn't mean you can't have a fun time and a memorable freshman year. Like, go and have fun, do as much as possible while staying safe. But go explore the town that your college is in. Go out on weekends and explore the town and go on hikes and all that different kind of stuff. Like, you're gonna be there for the next 4 years, so make the most of it and just still have fun. Like, don't be too discouraged and wallow in the fact that this semester might suck because we might not have as many sports games or as many big events or things like that, but those things don't necessarily make your college experience. It's the people that you meet and the friends that you make, and a lot of those friendships are made those first few weeks of school. So I just want to leave with that, and I hope that you guys have an amazing semester and an amazing move, and I hope you get to stay the whole semester, and I hope that spring semester is even better. So with that, I will let you guys go. Happy move-in, and I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.